The Knicks have finally made it official. New York just announced that they have re-signed Landry Shamet. But in order to do that, they also had to make a major roster move as well. We're going to break down all of these latest reports today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And make sure you have notifications turned on, so anytime we drop new content, you get notified. And now, let's get started. The Knicks re-sign Landry Shamet. Don't look now, but the Knicks are starting to play better and they're getting healthier. And now we're having a legit 5 players off the bench that Tom Thibodeau actually trusts, that he could utilize. If that's the case, that means even more rest for the starters. This was always an inevitable. We knew that Shamet, once he was healthy and available and that shoulder was 100%, he was going to return to the Knicks. We already reported on this channel a few days ago that he already returned for Westchester, was putting up points for them, and he looked very good. So it was only a matter of time before he rejoined the main team. And it looks like that time is right now. It's official, back on the grind. Landry Shamet has re-signed with the Knicks. And as you can see here from NBA insider Ian Begley, the Knicks announced that Landry Shamet has been signed officially. And shout out to Shams of ESPN to being the first on this report and giving us the following information. The New York Knicks have agreed to a deal with guard Landry Shamet. Shamet has fully recovered from his preseason shoulder injury and now returns to the team. And according to James L. Edwards of The Athletic, it's a 1-year deal for Shamet. And shout out to Ian Begley with SNY for giving us more information on this latest signing. According to him, Landry Shamet is back with the Knicks. Shamet was part of the Knicks rotation in preseason before dislocating his shoulder. He was rehabbing with the Westchester Knicks. We noted last week, but some prominent people within the Knicks organization feel that Landry Shamet can bolster the bench unit. He was going to be in the rotation coming into the season until he suffered a shoulder dislocation in the preseason. The Westchester Knicks drafted Shamet, which allowed him to rehab with the organization. And that was the main difference here. The fact that we were able to do that allowed him to stay close to the Knicks. We were able to monitor his rehab. We knew when he was going to return. And when we knew he was fully healthy, we brought him back to the team. But when you bring Landry Shamet back to the team, you also have to make another roster move in order to clear some space for him on the bench. And that's exactly what the Knicks did. And if you're watching this channel, then this move is no surprise to you. In fact, it was actually expected. Shout out to Steph Bondi, Ian Begley, and Knicks PR for giving us the following information. The Knicks announced that they have waived Matt Ryan. This was done in order for Landry Shamet to be brought back. According to the New York Post, New York coach Tom Thibodeau spoke highly of Landry Shamet multiple times throughout training camp, highlighting the ways he would fit with the club. In particular, Thibodeau said he valued Shamet's prior experience playing with Mikal Bridges and Cam Payne, who both joined the Knicks in the summer. And as the great Alan Hahn just noted here, getting Landry Shamet at this point in the season is a huge bonus for the bench. And here's why. Don't look now, but Tom Thibodeau now has 5 guys he likes, 5 guys he trusts to come off the bench. A lot to break down here, but first things first, let's talk about Matt Ryan. First of all, shout out to Matt Ryan. He was warming up the bench, keeping that seat warm for the eventual return of Landry Shamet. Like we've been speaking about on this channel for a while now. We call that, so let's call what's going to happen next. With Matt Ryan, he's now likely going to be re-signed on a 2-way contract with the Knicks. The Knicks right now have Boo Buie signed to a 2-way deal, and he's playing with Westchester. If they take him off of that contract, he can stay with Westchester, so the Knicks can still have access to him, but now they'll have the ability to re-sign Matt Ryan to that 2-way deal. And that's exactly what the Knicks are likely going to do. Shout out to Michael Scotto with Hoopsite for giving us the following information. Looking ahead, sharpshooter Landry Shamet is expected to be re-signed by the Knicks when he's healthy, with the hope that stretch forward Matt Ryan will then clear waivers once he's waived and re-sign on a 2-way contract with the Knicks. Now, this was reported a while ago, but you know what? I still absolutely believe that this is going to be the case because half of that already happened. Landry Shamet is back with the team. Matt Ryan was waived. The next part of that is to re-sign Ryan on a two-way deal. Once that happens, the Knicks will have the players that they want. They'll have Ryan re-sign in a two-way deal. They'll still have access to Boo Buie with the Westchester Knicks. And they will have Landry Shamet, the person that they wanted off the bench for the start of the season, finally on their bench. And that's huge for a number of different reasons. But for one main reason that Alan Hahn said, Tom Thibodeau now has 5 players on the bench that he trusts. But one other thing that the New York Post reported, Tom Thibodeau valued Landry Shamet. Why? Because of his prior experience playing with who? Mikal Bridges and Cam Payne. Now, let's just say they form a bench unit of Payne, Shamet, Deuce, Achiuwa, and then you throw another starter in there. Maybe that starter is Mikal Bridges. And if that happens, then Tom Thibodeau will effectively done exactly what I wanted him to do with Mikal Bridges to start this season, but we were unable to do it because we just weren't healthy enough. That's have him play the RJ Barrett role. That means early substitution, and then he runs a lot of time in the second quarter with the bench unit. And it's not to say you're going to shut him down with the starters, because clearly in the month of December, he has been one of the best Knicks in terms of scoring, in terms of efficiency, and yes, in terms of defense. He has finally looked like the player we gave all of those picks away for. But more than that, we need to also try to maximize him more. And one of the ways to do that is allow him to play more minutes with the bench unit. If he's allowed to do that, he's going to have the ball in his hands more. And we already see when he has the ball in his hands, good things happen. He can play make. He can pass the ball. The other night, he had 6 assists, and he did it easily. Bounce passes to Brunson, inside finds to OG Anunoby, or to Josh Hart, or to Karl Anthony Towns. He is that lethal and that deadly. Playmaking, check. Can he rebound the ball? Yes, he can. Can he hit the 3 ball this month? Absolutely. He's been on fire. Mid-range has always been there. But there's another part to Mikal that we haven't seen yet. And the reason we haven't seen it is because we haven't been allowed to see it. The roster's not been there yet until right now. A lot of people think that Shamet signing isn't that big of a deal until they understand the rotation that it allows you to get access to. A rotation that we've never had that now we do. Mikal as the lone starter with that bench unit. Not to mention, while that's happening, you have the monsters in OG, Karl Anthony Towns, and Jalen Brunson just waiting on the bench, waiting to be called back in so they can go off. These are the things that Tom Thibodeau never had that we have access to now. And it's all coming together at the most perfect time. The team is starting to look better. Our defense is starting to look better. Tom Thibodeau is actually approving of a double big lineup. We've seen it a few times with Jericho and Towns, but a lot more with Towns and Achiuwa. And there's a reason for that. Those two together, very, very good things. Not only on offense, not only because of the fact those two can move very well off ball, and they both kind of give you similar things, only Towns gives it to you at an MVP level. But nonetheless, they give you a lot of the same type of things when they're out there. And they can play make, they can pass the ball. But here's the thing, the switching between those two is just amazing to see. It helps our defense go from bottom of the league to at least league average. With the offense that we have, getting a league average defense means that we are going to destroy the league. Did everybody hear me in the back there? I said destroy the league. Did everybody hear me all the way over there yet? I don't think you did. Let me say it again. We are going to destroy the league because we now have the roster coming together to make it happen. Shamet by itself doesn't sound like a flashy signing until you hear about all the things that it unlocks and gives you access to. And then when you realize that, realize it means more rest for the starters and rotations that you never thought of could exist, you start to understand why I'm hype, why I'm excited, and why I can't wait to see what this Knicks team looks like with Landry Shamet on it, because I think we're about to reach another level. And that level is going to take us on a rocket course all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. Believe that, bet that, and believe in this team. Believe in this Knicks front office, because every time we think we know what they're going to do, we find out we never know. But what about you guys? What do you think about the great news here indicating that the New York Knicks have made it official and they have re-signed Landry Shamet? He is back on the team, back on the bench, and back with this main Knicks roster. Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button. Leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Happy holidays to each and every single one of you guys. Peace and love.